Anyway, just wanted to do a Libra reading for you. So I don't know, I've got some really cheery people coming in on some of the other reads I was doing. So I don't know if everybody's going through a hard time right now, but if you are, just know that too shall pass. And according to this reading, it does look like it's moving in that direction as well. So I did do some other tarot cards that kind of spoke to, well, there were other tarot cards that I did a review on basically. So I just wanted to let you know there were three new ones, and I will try to bring them in sort of periodically as we go. But right now, I'm going to start off with just the general read, and it's not going to speak to you all at the same time. You're all in different timelines. You don't make decisions all on a Monday, all of you. So just be aware that some of you may be going through this energy currently. Others of you will be sort of just heading into it. Others, it'll be sort of tail end. But either way, I feel that, Libras, of course, have different other associated signs, so this may not be your story. But if it resonates for you, then please stay and watch. Anyway, what I've got for you here is starting off with the Three of Swords. We all know the Three of Swords starts off as a card of change or conflict or some kind of heartbreak of some sort. So again, this is just the general aspects of it first, and then we'll kind of move into all the other details. But Three of Swords on its own, as I said, does indicate to me that there is going to be some kind of level of heartbreak in May that is going to disrupt you. I'm not going to say that it's impacting you in quite the way that you would think, though, because the Three of Swords in its own is kind of striking out on your own, or someone else is striking out on their own, but there's some kind of separateness here, and it does cause a little bit of heartbreak. So there is something here that speaks to a relationship of some sort that seems to be coming in with that Three of Swords. So there's a conflict. The follow-up card is around a Three of Pentacles. It does indicate that there is possibly some change around money here as well. But at the same token, we're looking at two cards that are separate energy. So the Three of Swords is restrictive. The Three of Pentacles is advancement. So, and I also have other cards with the Strength card and then the Sun card. So again, it's like opposites. And the reason why I bring that up is because these combinations are it's a rare kind of combination for that and the Strength card. So we've got more than one three here because we also have another card that follows up with the Three of Wands. So there is something here that speaks to a tremendous change of sort, but it's almost like there is a lot of expansion because of all these threes. Threes I also consider to be a lucky number, and I feel like that's a very fortuitous sort of situation that may be at hand here in the month of May. So when we get to, again, the combinations, three threes, so there's big changes on the money front, there's a bit of a heartbreak, but there's also huge leveling up and expansion here. So what I'm seeing here is, even though we've got contradictory challenges, your stability seems to be fine. There doesn't seem to be, there might be something around the finances that's changing, but everything is upgrading in some way. So I feel like the changes have something to do with when you there's some kind of a connection between the Three of Swords is kind of a closing down energy, like I said, but at the same token, you have, there's disappointment in this expansion, but it's almost like it's a needed expansion. So there could be some separation, whether this is a divorce or whether this is somebody moving on or moving out or letting go. Either way, it's like a this too shall pass kind of energy. So this is where there is going to be a healing. The healing begins with all of this energy because all the cards that follow are strikingly positive. So I feel like, whatever this heartbreak is, it feels like you're working through that energy by expanding, redirecting your focus, something along that line. There are changes that are being made, and you are able to keep your focus on something that is, comparatively um, advanced. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're moving yourself to higher levels despite this disappointment. So you're actually being productive with whatever this troubling heart situation is. So I still feel like this again is, maybe some kind of distance or letting go of something or someone or some kind of pain that, is still a part of the picture, but it's like you're compartmentalizing that pain and kind of releasing it and generating a new hope or a new inspiration, surrendering to the scenario. something along that line. Because, like I said, these energies seem to be quite contrasting. So I would say that when they're all drawn together here, it looks like there is some kind of drawing on one's strength to be able to stay focused on the work, and maybe collaboratively involving other people in the month of May to help you to advance something. And that is helping to alleviate the pain or whatever it is that you're kind of healing from. So it's allowing you to better deal with the hurt, is really what I see here, so that you can further your own career growth, or your finances, or upscale a skill of some sort. Because, like I said, there's really a lot of exploration there. So the next cards out is the Three of Wands, and we also have the Five of Pentacles. So again, lots of threes here, but with that initial scenario of the Three of Swords, it's still some kind of separation or something that's causing you a little bit of pain. But again, it's like you realize that the change was necessary, and so you're finding relief in that by realizing that there's something else for you to kind of advance towards. The Three of Wands, like I said, that one is an expansion card as well. And it looks like you have to persevere through something to be able to get to the other side. So you are drawing on some inner strength to kind of suss this out. But I just wanted to see if I could find, there was another new book that I have, that I wanted to sort of check into. I know my meaning's on the, how it relates, but there's a new book that I had that had kind of a psychological meaning that kind of went with that. And I thought that was interesting. So I wanted to see what it would say on that. And I'll grab that here for you as well. But anyway, Three of Wands still speaks to, and hello, hi, Lily. Uh, so yeah, so anyway, Three of Wands, like I said, it speaks to a hopeful time despite all of this, kind of sadness, feeling like there's a lack of some sort, maybe ego-based, feels like you're internally feeling like there is some personal hurt here that you're trying to work through. But either way, just know that you're at the first stage of something, that you've completed something, some aspect of something, because you're advancing it. When you're normally at the Two of Wands, you're at the precipice of moving in a new direction. Three of Wands is, you have hope in the plan that you've realized here, and you're kind of just on the horizon of moving into the successful period. And there's a sense of, maybe not feeling, all that competent or confident. Yes, it is a koala bear. Sorry, I just saw you. Hi, Deli. So, sorry, is that the deli's open? But yeah, the Three of Wands is a period of accomplishment. So you're putting in the hard work, but it just feels like you're not being complacent with whatever this sadness is or this change. It feels like you're really putting your energy and momentum towards propelling, towards success or fortune and some kind of, the next stage of a project. So it's a creative endeavor, something that's really starting to pay off. The Five of Pentacles, like I said, does kind of speak to, maybe not feeling very confident about, like an aspect of your life. There's something here that's in around the concrete or in around the tangible, something there that doesn't feel like, you're just feeling like you're in lack of something here. So it's like you're learning to deal with a new stress level or some kind of strain that's put upon you here, and you're pushing through is what's happening. But it's also a sense of feeling abandoned or a little bit lonely. So it kind of gives you a feeling of emotionally being a little destabilized, but I feel like you're pushing through with something creative to kind of mobilize yourself. So, stop worrying, I guess, is really the card. But again, it's because you're feeling unsupported and you're kind of, in that place of feeling um, just not really like anybody's there for you, maybe on some level. But, like I said, I feel like you're sharing yourself and putting yourself into a space where um, you're drawing on the inner strength to kind of push through whatever this change is. Again, there's a change that it may be impacting you on an ego-based level or something like that, but it's definitely very personal, and it does represent some kind of insecurity regardless. So then when we get to, and again, these are kind of the cards that speak to sort of the aspects where it's back and forth. But again, I feel like overall you're handling the scenario very well. Um, Like I said, the Five of Pentacles is feeling like you're still not in that space of being supported. So maybe you're being your own best friend here in this situation. But I still feel like overall you are able to get through whatever the scenario is. So fear not. There is very good cards up ahead here. The other ones that I wanted to point out here as well kind of speak to, again, if this is a financial worry, I don't feel like it's lasting very long, but I feel like you feel sensors. I feel like you are in that space of sensing some kind of loss either way, or that you feel like you have to start again, something in that sort of space. But either way, it's a minor arcana. It's not the major stuff out here. And then we move on to, and it may feel like you haven't lived up to some expectation or something didn't live up to your expectations, something like that. Um, but either way, you're reassessing your behavior and looking at your talents and your abilities to find a way to rebuild, your ambition, your reputation, whatever that is for you. So then we get to the card of the Chariot. The Chariot is a real go-getter card. It's definitely one of taking charge of one's life, feeling like they've got more sense of direction. Could be a trip here as well, because there's something here in around a warm place with the sun, but it definitely speaks to a lot of positive movement up ahead. So I feel like there is something here about you being guided towards your goal. You definitely have the ambition toward it. You definitely feel like there is something in your focus that is, causing you to build up some momentum here, and take action. So this is willpower. This is stability. This is, pushing through struggle, change, and being triumphant in that whole process. So a lot of cards of opposites here, like I said. So I feel like you keep moving forward, despite you're on the right track, period. But you keep moving forward and drawing on that inner strength to push through whatever this situation is. So I feel like you're still in control of things either way. So when we get to the Sun card, of course, that again could indicate that there is a road trip up ahead. But I definitely feel like you're in that space of, Cancer could also be relevant to this reading as well for whoever that, or Leo energy also. I do feel like you're creating your own destiny, like I said, with the Chariot card, but you're overcoming the obstacles, period. So there's progression. I feel like there is a sense of empowerment within. It has to happen within. I don't feel like you're necessarily focused on a particular relationship at this time necessarily. It feels like you're shifting your focus to your goals or your ambitions, because there has been some kind of heartbreak. So I just feel like you're in that space now where you're ready to take off somewhere, take a trip, and I feel that you will take a trip by car, spend some time in that direction. Either way, it just feels like it's very positive energy coming in. So again, you're really in a space of kind of taking time, taking your life back and making time for you is what I would say there. The Sun card definitely does speak to, happier times. It's, things starting to open up. So the dream, the goal, something is starting to show you that there's a little bit more going on here that is hopeful. And it certainly speaks to more, your ego's improving. So in some way, because this is a more hopeful sort of destination. This is where you start to feel like, you can rebuild again in some, inner way, right? But I also feel like this is that energy of, I'm not seeing specifically finances increasing just yet. It's like the journey is opening up to you, that is, and it's one that's come around before, like it's something you've done before. It's not something that's fresh and new, and for whoever this resonates for. This is like, because there's new hope here. There's vitality. You have more faith in something. You're overcoming your fears by this point, and it does feel like, life is starting to balance out in a more dramatic way. So this is really good cards for recovery of a situation. And again, I just feel like you have captured something back, your hope for life, your zest for life, your feeling of positivity is definitely starting to change. When we get to the Page of Swords, that is that energy of Could be dealing with a younger person here as well, but Page of Swords is still speaking to somebody who does the research, somebody who really does put, put a fair amount of, analytical, they have an analytical mindset, so they really put a lot of thought into things, somebody who's quite powerful thinker. So again, this is you or someone else around you. But it really feels like there is also a little bit of stalking energy here. And I don't know why. A little bit of stalking energy here, but I feel like you are also setting some really realistic goals and you're doing what it takes to get back on track. There could be even surgery for you or someone else that's kind of coming in here. Maybe it's a heart surgery, I don't know, but there's something here about seeking out some experts here as well to kind of work through a scenario. Um, I don't feel like there's anything that's distrustful here, though, because it feels like this energy is more of curiosity and expansion. And the Fool card 2.0, I mean, that one is all about, something coming back around. This is a situation where, you really have done this before. So it's like revisiting the journey and getting back on track. Sorry, guys, just wanted to check one more thing here, because this is a different deck. So I just wanted to, but anyway, the 2.0 card, like I said, that kind of speaks to the traditional Fool is just going into a new path, like a journey that's, not yet been tested. But I feel like this one that you're going on to is one that's been tested. It's something that you started before, and now you're kind of revisiting that again. The fact is it's like a deja vu experience is really how this card is depicted with that deck. So it feels like you're in a space of really trying to figure out, how do I learn more skills? How do I rebuild this path? How do I move it to a new level of awareness? Like, how do I upgrade something? So you're kind of repeating a lesson in a way, or you're repeating a situation or a scenario, but I feel like you don't lack direction. You're very clear on what it is that you've learned, and now you're trying to find a way to harness that and move into this space. So again, it's like a second time around here, and how do you build on the skills with the knowledge and the lessons you've earned in the previous scenarios here, and that's what I see there. So we also have the Strength card, and of course the Strength card is coupled by the Nine of Cups, which there is definitely something that's making you very happy. So you have to kind of push through this little scenario. There is something strong around a connection, could also be dealing with a Capricorn energy as well. But there's something very strong around this connection that seems to be very potent and possibly a little toxic, or has been toxic. But there is something here that kind of speaks to you needing to have the courage to push through the scenario, which I feel you are, and able to get to the other side, so to speak. So it's kind of a card of being unbreakable. This is where um, there's a vulnerability, but there's also push through, because what's coming in with the Nine of Cups is amazing. That is the card of ultimate happiness. That is the card of wish fulfillment. This is something here that speaks to, I finally got something that I wanted, and I just had to keep pushing through to get there. It's like a wish coming true. So there's a wish coming true for you in the month of May, because you pushed through. You've had the perseverance. You've had the courage to continue on. So there's some kind of blessing, something that is going to come through here that you're truly going to be grateful for. I don't know what this is, but it is going to give you a high level of satisfaction emotionally. And it's definitely some kind of hard work that you put in around the scenario. Okay, so now the final card's out, and I'm going to kind of recap this as well. The final card out is the Devil and the Lovers. Of course, the Devil is sort of that bit of toxic energy, some kind of situation where you felt that you've been dealing with something that has been hindering you, or a blockage, or something that couldn't grow or didn't feel like it was going forward. So it's, any kind of temptation or any kind of vice that you also have. But either way, it kind of, whatever that is for you, it feels like you're liberating from it. There's a decision here that opens up, that kind of unlocks things. And maybe it is a card of forgiveness, but I don't quite see that necessarily. But I don't feel suffering. I feel like there is a decision around trying to make some things work, or a connection, seeing it through to get to the other side, because there's something about a connection that has been toxic that is now changing, and it's moving in a more positive direction. So there is a choice here for an opportunity, for a chance this relationship is going to reconnect in a positive way. So again, there's something here around a supportive partner, or it will be. It's still kind of some of you might be dealing with kind of a toxic energy, but I feel like this is something here that's going to open up to something that's more enduring, because there is something here about a wish fulfillment, even though this toxic energy kind of still speaks to there being a level of it's like there's a taking back of your power. It's kind of what that speaks to. So again, with all the threes, there's some kind of exploration, expansion. You're taking, you're jumping back, because you're jumping into something that's going to give you a lot more excitement, a lot more happiness up ahead here. But that's because you're compartmentalizing the pain in some way, and you're facing the challenges. And because you push through this, there's a brighter potential and growth, despite the obstacle that you've been currently sort of dealing with. So again, there's more confidence and capability of achieving something. And I feel like you're in control of your own destiny. And because of that, there's, again, more positivity, more vibrancy. And you definitely have some kind of spontaneity that's kind of coming through with that Fool 2.0. You've done something before. This is not something new. I feel like you are really growing into yourself, is what it feels like. You're trusting yourself. And again, you're tapping into your inner courage. You're really finding the inner strength to face whatever this situation is, because it's leading to fulfillment and happiness. And I feel like it's not that the obstacle is removed so much as it is you're finding the strength. How do I say it? You're finding satisfaction in allowing, it's almost like an acceptance of something, which is allowing you to find satisfaction in it. So you're accepting something and able to find the wish fulfillment. So there's some kind of inner filter that you are working with. You're using an inner filter of some sort to find your own inner happiness, and that's giving you wish fulfillment. So in the month of May, something is going to come in that is going to offer you a fair amount of inner peace and satisfaction. Something that you've wanted is in your hands. It is possibly in around, like I say, a younger person. But because the fact is we've got success cards, we've got ambition, we've got focus. And like I said, the Nine of Cups is the ultimate card of feeling more secure. So I feel like you weren't feeling secure, you weren't feeling happy, but you're now in that space of, I can get excited again. I can feel greater fortune. I'm just going back to see again, because this is a success card in a particular direction. There's something here about this takeoff, this new direction. There's something here about the pain, maybe learning from the pain. You've learned how to cope with this element of pain, which has upgraded you. And because of that upgrade, it is allowing you to move to the next level, which is creating a certain sense of movement, mobility. You're jumping in now. You're taking that leap of faith in the month of May. And like I said, Nine of Cups is you're not feeling the lack now, because you've made some kind of change by simply accepting something and pushing through it, which is leading you to a wish come true. So that kind of discipline you can reward yourself with. That's really what that's about. Something here speaks to unexpected good fortune that's kind of landing in your lap in this month. So there is a good chance that I don't see a lot of pentacles here, but let me just ask one more thing here. I'm just going to pull the cards out again. Oh, actually, you know what I should do? I should use the new tarot deck that I have. Sorry, guys, I got to reach to grab it. Okay, so this one is, all right, so this one is a different tarot deck, but this one is the Change Tarot. What is the advice for Libra in the month of May? What is the advice for Libra in the month of May? What is the advice for Libra in the month of May? Besides the fact that you're getting wish fulfillment. Okay, we'll ask about what that wish fulfillment is too. So what is the advice for the month of May for Libra? The Sun card again. King of Swords, you in your own power. And the Hierophant. That wish fulfillment is coming in around a relationship. And it's going forward with a younger person, most likely. You're finally getting you're making some headway. Okay, you are making headway with some kind of connection. Because the news, it doesn't necessarily have to be with a younger person, but the page can represent that. It can also just mean that you're moving in a positive sort of forward motion. This is a new deck for me, guys, so I might have to kind of refer to this one a little bit because this is not one that I tend to follow. It's really new for me because I just got it today. Anyway, okay, so the Sun card, and I guess, of course, this is coming through twice. So we do know that the message is significant. And as far as the cards go with this particular deck, it says, in a very old story about a frog and a princess, the two become friends after the princess's golden ball flies down a dark well, and the frog offers to retrieve it in exchange for friendship. Jungian analyst Marie-Louise von France writes that the golden ball is a symbol of the self, whose function is to unite the dark and the light aspects of the psyche. When a frog who dwells at the bottom of musty wells and a princess who sleeps high in a castle come together, what happens is not unlike what often happens when we start to unearth hidden or tucked away aspects of our own experiences. When the frog insists on eating from the princess's plate and sleeping on her pillow, needless to say, there's aggravation, irritation, and disgust. In the sun, a baby rides a white horse naked through a field of sunflowers with a golden ball, the sun itself at their backs. The task here is to shine a light on, and in doing so, come into relationship with the aspects of experience that were once relegated to the bottoms of the damp wells on the edges of our awareness. When we put light on old wounds or hidden patterns, we can begin to integrate those things as a route toward our true selves. So that was just kind of a bit of the advice on that one. But I want to also say, the sun can also represent children. So for some of you, that might be the relationship of that nature. But when I see the King of Swords, of course, this is you coming through in your own reading. So Libra air, could be dealing with the air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But I definitely feel like you just much more optimistic in this month, period. There was something I was going to say here too as well. It was just kind of reference to the frog, just as a tidbit. Anyway, I read this book one time called Newton's Madness. It had something to do with at the time of, biblical times, they actually had frogs that were in the wells, and the wells, people would drink from the wells and think that it was a bad omen and people would die. But in actual fact, the frogs were poison frogs. And so it was really that the frogs had, just by virtue of being in, water, their natural habitat, that is something that caused harm. So the reason why I bring that up is because when it comes to relationships, we all have a different perspective. We don't think we're hurting another person. But in actual fact, we all come with a bias, or we all come with a particular version of things that we need to see or want in our relationships. And that's what causes conflict. That conflict is not to say that it is irrational or unwarranted, but because of our perspective and the way that we've grown up or the way that we've chosen our path, when the frog sees the water as a habitat and what it needs to survive, the person, or people using that well, drinking from that water, unknowingly caused poison to themselves. So it's not to say that one is worse than another. What I'm trying to, I don't know, in a roundabout way, what I'm trying to say is, that conflict is necessary to change all of us. And of course, we then found the science behind those things to figure out, what was causing people to pass along from the poison water, which is really just the frog needed that for its habitat. So, you know, consider the pains that we go through a part of the things that make us a better person, because without that, we would not know what true happiness is. So I know it's horrible to go through things when we go through them, but at the same token, same old message. It's important to know thyself. You recover faster when you have a better sense of yourself, and that takes real work to get there. So, King of Swords, again, is you standing in that place of, you know, deep concentration, really focusing on yourself, developing a level of mastery and focus in the month of May. And it's like nothing can take your power away from this place, because you are now in a space of, developing that concentration, developing that focus, really developing a way to bring back that happiness into your life. You're really focused on that in the month of May. So the next card out here again is the Hierophant. And again, this is about structures. This could also speak to, jobs, business, anything like that, religions, anything that's hierarchical, anything that deals with a big government agency, anything like that. My phone interrupted. I'm just going to give it a second here so you can hear me. Okay, so I don't know if you can hear me yet, but anyway, with the Hierophant, this is that card of, dealing with a long-term relationship, which obviously has impacted you in this reading. A long-term relationship seems to be quite significant here. So that's probably where the heartache has stemmed from. But I do feel overall, this association still speaks to, again, institutional energy, whatever that is for you. And it feels like it's more around a relationship, not education in this particular read. And again, we can have different aspects of a readings. Different readings will represent in different ways. Doesn't mean it's not necessarily your reading. But either way, I feel like you're kind of bringing yourself back into alignment with this connection. There is maybe a little bit of a distance or something that's still kind of showing up here, or at least there is, because I've seen that devil energy, there's something that's still, kind of, I don't want to say toxic, but maybe not quite in line with. So it seems like you're more focused on you this month than on whatever that heartbreak was, because if something didn't work out, it's not that you're seeing it as, you're finding a way around it to find the positives in it, is what I would say overall. So, and again, of course, with the Lover's card, or I guess that was the Two of Cups. No, it was the Lover's card. Yeah, with the Lover's card there as well, it still speaks to a choice that you're making to, focus on your personal evolution. It's focusing on you and really moving into those questioning periods of, what is it that I want? What are the lessons I've learned? What have I learned? What skill do I bring to the table in a love situation or in a long-term situation? What is it that I have been able to harness in this situation? Maybe it's patience. Because we do have the Three of Wands and we also have the Two of Wands. Patience looks to be, and perseverance looks to be, two of the strong messages here. But it's about being ready to learn. And even though you don't see something yet, you're still pushing through. And that's commendable, because the Chariot card was, again, the perfect tool for meeting all the challenges. And it's like you've passed a test because you've pushed yourself and you've trained for a scenario. And now those internal challenges have been met. You know how to deal with the anxiety or the grief or the heartbreak. So, whatever those stories are that we were playing in your head, it's not a trap now. It's not where you feel stuck. It's a place where you're not cemented, inside that vehicle. It's a place where your character is now starting to develop because you're completing difficult tasks with yourself and in your space and with people. So there's not a feeling of being stuck in this period. Again, the Two of Wands definitely is that, arrangement of I'm ready to move forward now. And it does go from the Two to the Three of Wands. Even though I'm reading from two different decks, it still speaks to, where you're no longer stuck in the in-between so much because there's so many cards of advancement. You know, they say cognitive dissonance is really where you have sort of these polar opposites, which you did start with in the beginning of the read, but you actually have persevered through that cognitive dissonance, or that space where there were, you know, two kind of emotional experiences that were kind of opposing one another. You're not stuck anymore. And I don't feel that frustration here. I feel like, you know, everything is opening up. There is just not, you're not dulling your emotions here. It's not like there is, there's more vitality, like there's more choice here. You're feeling in, like you're putting yourself in a place of, I'm choosing to grow and not to feel stuck. And the Page of Cups kind of brings in that same energy here as well, where you feel like you actually have become more, you're ready for something new. And I feel like, you know, you're ready to focus on you, because this is all about that energy of staying in touch with, you know, because the page is sort of at the doorstep. It's not a mature energy. It's where you're sort of kind of looking at all the things that, you know, before you, or what's ready to be offered here. You know, you're kind of curious about what is available now. So this is that space of, I am ready to kind of let go of the emotional baggage here, and I'm ready to look at the parts that are working in my life. Because the Six of Pentacles, again, like this is building on your practical world. This is putting some time and effort, and people kind of giving back to you as well. So it's almost like there is a showing of reciprocity. So there's something here that kind of speaks to, you know, being more open to receive, being more willing to receive, and also in that space of kind of deep listening and being more receptive to a particular relationship or a connection. So you're more open to something because you push through. It's almost like this person is coming through to be more giving in some way. Like there's more of a heart-to-heart connection, you know, where there, even though it's more of a, I don't see big, it's like an offer is coming through with the Page of Cups, but it's not big embracing love. It's more along the lines of, you know, I want to have a heart-to-heart. I want to show you that I am willing to, you know, honor this connection in some way. Kind of not dealing with the deep wounds, but, you know, it's still in that sphere of understanding one another, where there's more of a healing that's taking place between this connection. So it's kind of maintaining some of the things that were, like, you're not maintaining the blockages, but you're maintaining some kind of I don't know if this is value through listening, value through somebody offering you something, or if there's some kind of help, you know, financially. But either way, it feels like there's something that's being measured here. So whether this is coins, whether this is, you know, affection, whether this is more of a willingness to cooperate, is what I would say there. And I think that's because you're showing yourself more self-love and you see more hope in the situation regardless. So I would say, again, you are achieving some kind of a goal and you're persevering through something simply because of your own nature. You know, you've gone through this before, and so because of that, it's like the pain is not affecting you in the same way, because you're alleviating that pain because you're focusing on getting better. And because of that, you're actually seeing, you know, a new day. You're seeing a new adventure. You're trusting the process. You're trusting that you're creating your opportunities. You're able to get past the difficulties and those struggles because you have developed more confidence in the month of May. So there's a lot of really good energy there. Like I said, I feel like you are going down another path, but it's like you, whatever those mental challenges were, you're now in control of something here. So you've done a lot of growth on yourself. There's a lot of self-discovery here, and there's a lot of things that are going to start coming into you in May. There's wish fulfillment coming through right off the bat with that Nine of Cups. So I feel like something that you've wanted, you are going to see a unit of measure that comes through for you. The universe is going to show you you've done the right thing, and here's the gift. So that's what I have for you. And that sounds pretty amazing because you were willing to face a challenge or an obstacle. You're now reaping the rewards and you're positive now because of that, that there is something. Oh, hi, Ambrose. Just reading your comments there. New subscriber, totally appreciate you. Sometimes I'm a little dull, guys. Every now and then I'll try to do this when I've had like a few hours sleep. But either way, I appreciate you being there. So, and hi. Oh, your name is Vikram. Hello. Um, yeah, sure. Go ahead. I'll answer a few questions if you are wanting to ask me something. I'll have to do a short one though, but go ahead. If you have a question, I will answer that because this is looking pretty good for whoever this is. You're not in contact with, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, Vilaxamy. Okay, and what is your question about that, Vikram? You're wanting to know if she'll be in contact with you? Okay. So will Vikram be in contact with Vilaxamy? Will they be in contact soon? Will there be contact? I would say yes. I feel that there will be contact, actually. There might be some things that are still, yeah, I feel like there will be contact. There's still something here with the moon that's kind of in the background. So it's almost like something might be still being worked through. I don't know, something maybe like it's almost like there's a little bit of darkness there, a little bit of the unconscious or something that she's sort of dealing with or something that's still kind of heavy in the heart. But it feels like she's willing to go forward here again. The card of justice, there's some kind of balance here. There's a strong foundation that you guys have between each other. And I feel like there will be kind of a new adventure up ahead. And it will be a very good one, actually, because it looks like it's a very strong connection. So I'm just reading your thing there, Andrea. Okay, let me ask on that one about the move. It does look like, Vikram, yeah, it does look like your future is actually quite stable. She's still working through something, or you're working through something. It looks like, I guess it would be her in this case, because the moon card tells me that there's still something that's kind of, she's kind of dealing with, but I would say definitely very positive energy there. Very strong foundation. You guys have, it looks like a very good connection. Okay, Andrea, what do we have there? Sorry, I'm trying to read your comment. You just want to know if you should move or stay where you are. Your family, any insight would be okay. All right, so Andrea, what is coming in for Andrea as far as should she move or should she stay? Should Andrea move or stay from where she is? Should she move or should she stay? Why the Nine of Swords? Ooh, what's the Tower? Why the Four of Swords? Okay, well, there's definitely a lot of anxiety around it for sure. I feel like you're definitely still in that contemplative space with the Seven of Pentacles, Andrea. I do feel like there is a new start here up ahead, but even if you do take this new start, it's almost like you are very guarded and defensive about it. It doesn't feel like you're sure of it. It feels like you're so anxietied about it that, I mean, you could, you're not really seeing I don't know, seeing a bright future around it. I feel like you have the ability to do it because the Emperor shows me there is some structure behind it. There's some planning. It's organized. You can do this. You can do it. And the weird thing is when I see the Tower with the Four of Swords, it's almost like that is like an immediate because the Tower is something that's an immediate change of some sort, but the Four of Swords tells me it's kind of a laid back, relaxed, stay where you are sort of energy, not wanting to move ahead. It's maybe a forced change. Maybe something kind of forces a change or forces you to change. Let me just see, because the Moon card is also like there's a lot of foreboding and kind of a lot of heavy emotion around it. Should she leave? Well, it looks like, yeah, the choice is yours. Like, it's really not telling me one way or the other. Even in repeated cards here, it's telling me the decision is yours. You can find happiness if you do. It's, it feels like that's what you want to do, even though you're really uncertain about this. I'm not saying it's not going to come with challenges. Let me just see. Will there be a lot of difficulty if Andrea moves? Will there be a lot of difficulty if she moves? Because it looks like it's your wish fulfillment. It's something you really want. I don't know why I'm seeing this as it's like an ending. This is an ending. It's almost like it's a forced change to find your happiness. Why is the Ten of Swords here? Feels like you've rid this out as long as you can possibly do it. It's almost like you're already making the plan. The strategy is in place, or at least it's being implemented. Nine of Pentacles is sort of a, soul energy. I'm independent. I'm going to do what I got to do. And the Seven of Swords is I'm planning it. I think you are going to leave. I think you are making that decision already. There's too many cards of, there might be a little pause or hesitation before it happens, but I feel like you're already in the process of making the plans to do it. And I feel like it's not a bad idea, for sure, but it feels like there could be something sudden that kind of leads you to make that change. Because it feels like you're stuck, for sure. Let me just see. Oh, yeah, thanks, Andrea. Yeah, no, like I said, it just feels like your husband wants to move. You don't want to. You've lived there your whole life, but you want to make your husband and children happy. Yeah, it does show me that. It feels like it's already in the works, so the planning is there. All of that's showing. Will it be? It looks like it's going to be a good move anyway, though. I mean, despite your reservations, I think that. Let me just see. Will Andrea be happy with the move? Will Andrea be happy with the move? Yes, you will be. That's why I say, like, it doesn't. It's just it's a change, and change is hard. But I don't feel like you have any. There's nothing bad that will happen if you do make this decision, and it looks like it's already sort of in the works. The decision looks like it's already being planned. Yeah, and it does look like you will be okay. You have a lot of cards of good money cards, actually. So let me ask one more there. So that means that the resources are there. Yeah, there is going to be a decision. You guys are making the decision soon, very soon. Too many cards of decision. But there is still, let me just see here. Will they be okay with the move? Will there be any problems with the move in moving to a new place? No, I feel like you are in a place of, you'll be confused with some things, of course, but there's a lot of options available to you. Okay. What is the Devil card that came out here? Why the Devil? Yeah, you're still very worried about the new beginning, but honestly, it looks like it's a really good... There might be something that's a bit of a hit in some way, but you come out on top. Like, there's going to be something here that, and they're all positive cards. This is Ace of Cups. Like, they're all positive. It's a reason for you to be optimistic. There's going to be a blessing, something that comes in that kind of helps you. But it's almost like there's a kind of a suddenness with that tower, a forced change of some sort. Something will, but it's all structured. It's all, optimistic. The money is there. It seems like there's a lot of strong cards there to support the move anyway. Even though you are extremely reluctant, it looks like you actually have some good options available to you. So hopefully that helped. Thanks, Andrea. Yeah, no, appreciate that. Oh, love from India. I appreciate that too, Vikram. Yeah. No, you guys are all on the right track. Everything looks pretty good. So anyway, I got to sign off. I got things to do today, so I will. Oh, and hello to you. I'm sorry, Blankita. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Yeah, no, I understand that too, Andrea. Yep, change is hard for sure, but it does look like you have some good things that will come in if you do that. No, totally appreciate you guys watching. That's great. Anyway, all right, so I am off and running. Have a really great night, guys. Keep moving forward, and yeah, until we meet again, I will do my next read here in the next little bit.